instead performing duties like moving a chain to allow guards to enter and exit the plaza.
Okay, y'all, look at this fucking video I'm watching about. Okay, so I'm so lost for context. Okay, so like this video is about what it takes to guard the tomb of the unknown soldier, which is apparently like a prestigious place to guard for like military cadets, I guess, or like, but it's like they don't really explain what the tomb is. They just explain that like it's like the people who are guarding it, and it's just like I don't have no idea what it is. It's just like this place that like these people are guarding.
The tomb of the unknown soldier.
Turn the audio off, but like, so they're talking about how like they're training in order to become guards of the tomb, and the tomb is guarded 24/7. It's a very prestigious thing to do, and they have to, I don't know, like have perfect uniforms, like that are checked down to the millimeter, like for where all their stuff is. And they're talking about like all this, like as if it makes sense why they need to guard this tomb. I have no idea why they're guarding this tomb. Like what the fuck is it? It's like apparently, I think it's like a tourist destination, sort of, and it's very prestigious, sort of. But I don't know why. And like the entire time, like they're all talking about it with such seriousness. Like it's so important. Like they have to like train for it. They have to learn to like do the proper like walking, and it has to be perfect. Like best of the best of the best. It's religious. Like they do this special walk. Like everything about it is like ceremonial and like I don't know, like they're focusing on the details down to there's absolutely like a religious sort of fervor to it, and I can't tell like if some of them are serious or if they are just saying it. Like it's one of those things where it's like a hazing thing. Like, you know, like they have to tell the newbies how important it is because they want the newbies to be scared out of their pants, you know, so they'll take it seriously. Like, and you are the newbie, you know, like, but you can't tell if they are taking it seriously or if they are just like telling you that they are taking it seriously. It's fucking weird, man. Like, I just want to find the part where he's like measuring his uniform, and like he's measuring like down to the millimeter all the places of his buttons on his uniform as if they would move. Right here.
I'd say it's fairly money, and then you gotta measure it from this side right here, this edge. You gotta measure it to the gold again, and I'm getting 15 ticks. Yeah, I've had this checked like 6 times by 6 different sentinels, so I was hoping this is gonna be right on the money.
Because the standard is perfection.
Yes, sir, all the time. Nothing but perfection, and anything less than is you can't have it. Any training doesn't meet the standard or doesn't actively try to meet the standard, taking the curve.
Sentinels in training are held to high standards, but even more so.
It's just so fucking weird. I don't get it. I don't fucking get it. I'm just like, I want to do like one of my history videos now. So I just watched a video about this guy debunking like the spiders crawling on cranberries thing. So like there's this like myth. Here, I'll mute it again.
These are the spiders in the bog.
Okay.
Oh, you do. If you've ever found yourself mindlessly scrolling shorts on...
There we go. Okay, so this guy, he made an insanely detailed video debunking this myth about how like cranberry farmers use spiders to, you know, as a natural insect repellent. And he's like, he's going through and he's like debunking that myth. So apparently it's not true. They don't put the spiders there. They're just natural. They appear. And apparently they use other things like pesticides sometimes, but they try to like not use the pesticides, which means that they're using the spiders instead. And when these people are harvesting the cranberries, like they have spiders that are crawling on them. And this guy knows a lot about spiders for some reason. He's talking with like a ton of attention to detail to like all the different kinds of spiders that can live in a cranberry bog. And like it's just like apparently there's people who are interested in this. I guess I was interested in it, but mostly I was just like, what the fuck is happening? Why is this so important to this guy? And like, and then, okay,
Scientists deployed a hostile mercury into gold using nuclear fusion. For centuries, humans have been obsessed by the idea of...
Oh, I didn't watch that one. Another video that I watched, same thing with this video about fucking the French trains. The old French trains are apparently like the best, the fastest trains, like the height that and. I don't know. It's just like I'm suddenly becoming aware that there's like tons of tiny like communities on the internet that are like super nerdy about like super niche things. And okay, this is another one. This got me thinking that a lot. Look at this fucking this guy. He likes testing impact driver drill guns and testing them and like modifying them to make them work better, and it's just fucking like so stupid. Oh fuck, so stupid. He's like he's talking at length about how like he's gonna modify this impact driver drill to use tungsten, to have a tungsten like impact cup and or like make it heavier with tungsten, and then he's gonna put it in back in a drill and see how much better it does than other drills. And he's taking it so seriously, and I was just like, what the fuck is happening? Like, why does he care? Why is he so fucking like passionate? Like, he's spending his one life on this, like very intently, very very serious, like trying to he died. He fucking died. I didn't know he died. I thought he painted it. I missed that. And he goes through it. He talks about how like they drilled out the cup and they put in like these little tungsten inserts and they glued them, and then he's testing the drill and he's like very excited about it. He's like very excited. He's like, oh yeah, like I was like a kid in a candy shop, and I couldn't, and the drill was getting hot and I didn't want to put it down, but I had to, so I put it down for 45 minutes. I came back and it kept drilling. I was just like, what the fuck? Oh my god, it's so fucking funny. It's hilarious shit. Shit. That Hank Green talking about something. I love Hank Green. He's always doing like every single fucking day. I think if it's not every day, it's probably like 3 to 5 days a week. He's like making a new video for his like personal channel, and he's always making like a video essay about something random, and they're always like good, but they're always like. And my main thing that I'm really surprised is like how is he coherently making like a 15-minute video essay basically 5 days a week? Because I think I would go crazy. I would just be like, what the fuck? Like, how am I gonna find something useful and interesting to say? But Hank fucking does it. I have so much respect for him, and also just like I'm kind of in awe, honestly, of Hank Green. I don't know how he does what he does. Not that. Okay, this one, chewing. Oh, dude, this is super interesting. Oh my god. Okay, this all videos that I watched in the last like 2 hours. So it's muted. So basically, this woman is like explaining the evolution of chewing. So apparently, like, chewing is a relatively new phenomena. There's not a lot of animals that chew besides mammals, and most animals just like swallow everything whole. And so talking about the evolution of chewing and how like the first animals that did it, and how like there are a lot of, and then there's only one other branch of animals in the animal kingdom besides mammals that has animals that chew. So it's like it's a thing that has evolved in separate occasions. These guys is a lizard, and they also chew. They're like the only. It's not a lizard. It's like a. It's apparently not. It's not a mammal. You would think it is, but it's not. Or at least it's not a lizard. It's like it's something else, some different evolutionary branch. It looks like a lizard though, and it's just like it's just crazy interesting, and also just like what the fuck, like this is such a cool thing to think about, like the evolution of chewing, and I'd never once thought in my life about the evolution of chewing. It's never something I've ever once thought about like thinking about, and this was such a great video. I loved it. What else? Oh, dude, this one. Okay, I actually watched this a long time ago, and then I re-clicked on it because I was bored. But This is like, it's like comparing camping gear from the 1925 to 1975 to 2025, 50 years apart. So 3 different time periods, 50 years apart. And like, so long story short, this video is super interesting. Like, camping gear from the 1925 absolutely sucked. It was it sounded very uncomfortable. And then camping from 1975 sounded pretty good, and it sounds like a lot of camping that I've done. And then camping from 1925. Okay, the interesting part about this video is that basically like all the gear from 1925 is still available. It's just like weird items to buy because it's like mostly it's like 100% wool pants, 100% wool sweater, 100% wool socks, and other just like a lot of things are made out of weird things. And the sanitation was like, you didn't even discuss sanitation. I think you would boil things, like to get to sanitize water. And then like they had iodine tablets for sanitizing water in 1975, and then 2025 we have like a filter. But there was like a bunch of things that were like the main question in my mind was just like price, because like all the items from 1925 are still available on Blade, and so I didn't turn up the quality. Okay, and oh yeah, the backpacks were super uncomfortable. He said, but my main question is that like, so they probably spent like maybe like $300 each getting items for 1925, and for 1975 they probably spent maybe like $500 to $700 each getting items for 1975, and then for 2025 they probably spent like maybe $1,500, possibly even $2,000 each for items like for I guess like high end camping gear for 1925. And I was like, dude, I don't know if they were like price limiting themselves and saying like what is average for 1925. I think there might have been even nicer stuff for 1925. I don't know. If they had been willing to pay more, I guess. Like it's just like they basically just like for 1975 to 1925 or to 2025 it's basically like they went to REI and got cheap versus expensive gear, because all of the stuff that they had for 1975 was stuff that you can still buy at REI. It's just like now it's like the cheaper gear, and it's like the simpler gear. So this is like 1975 gear. I think they changed the filter to make it look like, oh no, it's just, oh well. This is like the exact gear that I camped with when I was a kid in Boy Scouts. You could get the nicer stuff, but it was always more expensive, and like most I think kids' parents like didn't want to shell out for expensive camping gear, so we all were just like walking around and stuff from like basically 1975. I think I had that exact fucking green wool sweater. They gave it to us in the Boy Scouts. We used a lot of the same fucking tools and equipment, and like I don't know. This is a very familiar scene. And then they're like talking about 2025 gear, and it's just like everything's like nicer, Gore-Tex, nicer like waterproof shoes, boots, and I don't know. Yeah, technology. It's a very, very interesting video. Made me wanna. I want to talk about that. I want to talk about that. I feel like I have really interesting thoughts, like really interesting, introspective thoughts about little ideas on weed when I smoke weed. And then like when I do mushrooms, I have interesting thoughts about big ideas. And I smoked some weed tonight, and I definitely had like one of the things I was thinking a lot about. I was like, I think weed is definitely a psychedelic, or at least like a sativa is definitely a psychedelic. It feels a lot like a psychedelic, and then an indica a lot less. But yeah. This was actually a cool video ranking the worst web animations. That was very interesting. If you're a web developer, it's a very useful and interesting video to watch. Dude, I watched a bunch of videos about penile implants because I was watching this video about like how do you stretch yourself, like how do you get lengthening surgery for your legs, and then there was another video that was recommended about like a guy who got a penile implant, and I watched that and I was like, oh my god, like how can you get a penile implant? And so I think actually for the most part they cannot like graft your penis to be larger, but they can give you an implant that makes it seem larger. And there's some like surgeries that you can do to get your penis to be larger, but not really. And so there's basically just an implant. An implant is like the best they can do, which will make you more likely to be hard, and also I think they can also increase the girth. That's what one doctor said. I feel like the doctor in the first video said contradicted what the doctors in the second video said, but very interesting subject matter. Dude, the process of them lengthening the legs, they show a video like they basically put like a rod all the way through your fucking femur from the top to the bottom, and the rod, and then they break your leg, and the rod like sort of slowly like increases the size of your leg, and it sounds horrible, super horrible. But and these guys like you can basically get 2 to 3 inches taller, and all the guys in the video were like, yeah, we love it, we're so glad that we did it. But I was like, damn, like it's pretty. It's also $75,000. It's kind of a big investment. This is a funny video. Oh, dude, this is about. I'm gonna close a bunch of these. This one was about basically the history of China.
Basically, grandma's cabinet that you're never allowed to use. But what makes that stuff so valuable anyway? Today, China doesn't seem particularly durable or rare, but when the Chinese invented it, its flexibility changed.
So basically, China in the China cabinet, the porcelain cooking ware that you could get from China for a long time before it was available in Europe. You had to import it from China, and its manufacturing was a closely guarded secret, and they couldn't make it in Europe. And apparently, it was like hot shit. It was like the best kind of like tableware slash pottery that existed, and it was like very strong, resilient, and lightweight and very thin. They could make it very thin, which is something you could not do apparently with pottery in Europe. But I remember reading this thing somewhere that like the reason why the West accelerated past the East, or at least one of the big reasons, was because they specialized in making glass because apparently you need a glass bottle for wine, and so they had wine, so they were making glass, which led to the development of optical lenses and for eyeglasses. And apparently that is like one of the reasons why the West became more scientifically advanced than the East sooner, was because of they were making glass instead of porcelain. But this video talks about the porcelain, and it's kind of interesting how like so they make it out of these two different it's like mica and then some other kind of clay, and it melts together to form glass through and through, which normal pottery does not do. And that's how they could make it. And they could also like I don't know, it's like an advanced form of pottery, I guess. It's cool, I guess. Yo, this thing is pretty cool. So I forget the name of it. It's like this you probably watched I feel like I watched a video about this a long time ago many times because it's really interesting. But there's just like a type of sea slug that can photosynthesize. It eats plankton and rips the chlorophylls out of the plankton, and then it can keep the chlorophylls in its own body, and it generates like 70% of its daily food from the chlorophyll from photosynthesis. But I guess my main question is like, what the fuck does photosynthesis? Like photosynthesis turns sunlight into what? Sugar or something? What is it? What does photosynthesis do that can feed a slug? And I don't know how that feeds a plant either. But like, it's crazy interesting. Apparently, also this kind of slug can self behead itself as a protective measure to save itself from a parasite that will infect its body, which is apparently something that happens a lot to this kind of slug. So it developed a defense mechanism to like it can rip its own head off of its body, and then the head will just regrow the body back. It can regrow its entire body from the head. It's crazy. Okay, I'm gonna finish this up later.